Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you. And from this past Saturday, we did get a couple more games in as well. Playing Magellan still. Had a really fun time today playing the deck. I just think the deck's super fun. Regardless of win or lose, it's just a really fun deck. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Kaido game yesterday. I know I took the double L right there, but I thought they were really good matches. They came down to my own, you know, simple mistakes in certain turns, and you know, that's the whole point of figuring out the deck. But going up against Linlin here, we do end up having to take first. We don't get that second, steal the odd curve, or excuse me, steal the even curve, but could potentially get Magellan down on turn 3 and then change this game around a little bit. But with 3 Dawn, you know what I'd love to see is heat. And you know what we haven't seen in any of our games? Heat. I tell you what. I have been struggling to see heat in any single match. But he does take the first life. We chose to just go 8k swing. Didn't really have much in hand to do anything anyways. It looks like we've got a couple Mino Koalas. I got a Mino Zebra as well. I'll take that first hit though, picking up a King. And we see a Pero Sparrow and a Pudding coming down for 4. Pudding's got a couple of options here, but does pick up Strusen for the 2k counter. And he'll pass it over, going up to 5 Dawn now. Pero Sparrow is always annoying to deal with, but I am just going to put down Queen in hopes to pick up, you know, a little something something. It looks as though we pick up a Hanyu Ball, and I'll just go ahead and get rid of the Mino Rhinoceros. It does 2k counter out with Strusen here after we went up to 6. And now we've got him being at 6 Dawn. This could be like a 6k or 6 cost Pero Sparrow, but he decides to just go 6 with the Pero on board. I will counter out with X-Drake, and probably just trying to set up potentially a King next turn, because I was like, you know what, I can defend life and then I can start to build a bit of a board here. And now that he's got Sanji on there, I'm just going to play King, KO the Sanji, and I think I'm just going to swing into the 3 cost Pero Sparrow on board just to see if I can get it off and not have to worry about too much defense. And now we do end up getting it, but I do give him an option to, you know, potentially get like a 10 cost Mom here, but luckily just a 2k counter Strusen. And yeah, I know I haven't gotten the life down to where I wanted it to be so far in this match. The little early stages of the game were not as kind to the curve as possible. I haven't seen Magellan just yet, but 6k swing. I will counter out for 1k on the Queen, and then a Brulee is going to be coming down here with a pass. I see the Thunderbolt in hand right now, so once Linlin gets down to that sweet spot of having 3 life, that's probably going to be going in there. It's always to be expected when playing up against Linlin. It's just I do always find myself kind of trying to figure out where I should be putting, or excuse me, where I should be swinging certain cards in this matchup. And now with Hanyu Ball, I'll take that little Sadie though. It looks as though the hand has had kind of a lack of 2k counters and power as a whole. But Mino Koala more than likely going to be coming down here. 2 Dawn to work with on top of that though. So I'm just considering whether I want to swing with Queen or not. And I will go 7. We do get the block with Brulee. And I do just choose to go 6 with the Queen. We're whittling down the hand size though, which I'm happy with. And Mino Koala might just be a really easy block here, simply because you know, we can ramp up. But I do just see a 5k at life. Not using the Cracker double attack ability, I will counter out, and I think that might have been a little much, but I knew that 10 cost Mom was coming down, so kind of had to plan accordingly. And now I think we go up to 9 Dawn ourselves here. I could play 9-cost Kaido, but I did waste a lot of counter power there. Being at 3 life, you know, it is what it is, but I'm going to try and be aggressive here. I'll go 5 to life, 6 to life. Does take. I'll go 7 to life, and then more than likely just playing down that 9 cost. But I'm waiting to see what he does get for triggers here. Sadly, does pick up the Brulee, which now I'm like, dang, all right, that kind of sucks. I was planning on going 9 cost into KO the Cracker and swing at life, but this Brulee sort of stops that, and now I'm like, I have to choose between KOing the Brulee or the Cracker, and I have to go with the Cracker still. I'll go 6 to life, and I don't hate this, but I don't love it. The other Brulee blocks the... Yeah, excuse me, the Brulee blocks the 10k swing. I almost think I shouldn't have swung Kaido here, because I did already swing my blockers. I maybe should have left like 1 blocker active and just went for like a leader swing and a king swing first. I think the order of operations there would have been a little bit better, depending on, you know, how he had gotten that blocker out of life. Because now I just kind of leave my Kaido susceptible to potentially being KO'd. And I barely have enough to counter out of this in hand. And I could, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous if I do, because I think my hand had the 0-cost event, Gum Gum Gatling, as well as a or was it Magellan? No, I think it was a Law and a little Sadie. And I'm like, man, if I do that, I'm dropping my entire hand. And so I decide to let it go. And then there's this big old 10k swing coming at King, if I'm not mistaken. He did another like exactly 3k over, which I was like, oh god, it's like so perfect. So perfect. But he does pick up his life. I believe puts the Thunderbolt back into life. I'll let King go here. I thought that I should like defend, or excuse me, have some of my defensive cards for the turns afterwards, you know, and still be aggressive and go for life here. But I really think I should have defended that Kaido a little harder, because it would have forced a 10k swing with Linlin into that, and then I would have still had the King, so I didn't have to swing with blockers. 7k, well, excuse me, the 5k from Mino Koala does get countered out, and now a 7k swing is going to get blocked by Sanji. And I'll go ahead and play Law for 4 and probably just pass it over. He's got 3 cards in hand, so no Law effect right now. And I'm just thinking of whether I want to swing with Queen. I think we just decide to pass here. Yeah, I think that one turn, and that's the thing that has been hard for me with Magellan, is I feel as though there's always one turn that is the deciding factor of whether or not I'm able to like really go for game, or it ends up just messing up my entire game itself. I do get to ramp off the Mino Koala dying here, but at what cost? We're going to see a 3 for Pero Sparrow. 12 at life, we will just take. And I believe he still has 3 Dawn left. Oh yeah, it does pass with 3 Dawn open. I just don't think he had a lot of plays. Could have potentially swung, or no, he couldn't have, because Queen was active. I was going to say could have potentially swung with Pudding, but Queen would have just blocked that very easily. Yeah, and our hand is... I drew into the 7-cost Eustace Captain Kidd a little late, but I am going to play it down in hopes that I will be able to get enough of an attack through here. I will go 7, and this does Thunderbolt my Queen. I assumed there would be a Thunderbolt. I just hate to see it, you know? I'm going to pass with 2 active. I really am not looking great here. I just needed to get the the Kid down, though, so that I had like something to be able to potentially go for game the next turn. And now, yeah, with 10 Dawn left, Big Mom could just be the play here. You know, it's always the play, actually, as yellow. But with leader ability, you can set up your final life as well. And I don't believe he set this one up. I believe he set up the last one. So 12k at life, we're definitely going to take that pretty freely. And if he does choose to 10 cost here, yeah, we'll see 5k at life. I'm just considering whether I'm about to get 10 cost mommed or not. And oh no, oh I see, yeah. I'm at 6 because of Use's Captain Kid, so he decided to play the 8-drop Katakuri and then put the Peril Sparrow to life and use leader ability to bring that Peril Sparrow back and swap out one of the you swap out the Peril Sparrow for like maybe another Thunderbolt or potentially a blocker or something like that. So now I'm really nervous because I was like, man, I think I had a chance, but now I don't think so. And I totally messed this up. I wasn't planning on going for game here, right? But then I just think like, oh shoot, if he has Thunderbolt, I'm now kind of forced to go for game. And so I messed this all up in my head and I was like, well, now I have to. So I'm just going to go, I believe it was 8k. It was either 8 or 9 right here. And he gets a Shirahoshi, which finds him 3 counter cards. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I screwed myself in the end. I should have swung with Law first, but I really wasn't planning on going for game. And then I just overthought the, yeah, I definitely overthought the Thunderbolt, you know, KOing the Law. And he was able to get to 10k right there while we swung for 9. Yeah. Unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and good match. And now we go into another Linlin match, though, that we had on the day, and this one is magical. Ladies and gentlemen, out of all the games that I played on Saturday, which I believe was 6 games, something like that, 6 or 7, we actually saw heat. I run 4 of this card in the deck, and we actually saw it on, like, the starting hand, or even just turn 2. As a whole. So I was really stoked about that because the card just goes extra hard into, you know, multiple matchups. But another Linlin playing Sanji on turn 1, and we'll finally get Heat down. Heat is just so nice into so many matchups because of how much Dawn minus effects we have in the deck. Pudding is going to pick up, oh shoot, I forgot, he showed me the card. He didn't show the camera the card, and I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was like 7 cost Linlin, if I remember correctly. But swinging 6, we will counter out with X-Drake right there. I could be wrong, but I think it was 7 cost Linlin. And now for 5 Dawn, we've got the beautiful Magellan boy. On curve, man, this is just looking tremendously better than the last game already. I'll go 6k with Heat into the Sanji. Don't want to let him get too much card draw. And now I'll go 6 to life, and he does counter out with another Sanji right there. So now that we've got him on the odd curve as well for having Magellan early enough, this does make yellow's, you know, plays a little bit awkward. And if we can get another Magellan down after this, I mean, it's all gravy, baby. But we do see a 7k, and I will counter out of the 7k on Heat with X-Drake, and then he puts down Peril Sparrow. You know, obviously, we all hate Peril Sparrow, okay? 5k body that can also search. Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. It does look like we have the king in hand, but he does have 7 cards, so I figured, you know what, this might be the instance where we can just get rid of some, get ahead a little bit, and I'll take that one, and I'll take that one. We get a 6 cost Peril Sparrow and an Amande. Not bad. We get a little bit of counter power out of hand. And yeah, I did bring leader up this time. It was funny. I know yesterday a lot of you in the comments were saying like, yo, you gotta bring leader up with the law Dawn minus effect. I think I had just forgotten about it in the situation. I was thinking about, you know, what cards was I getting out of his hand versus like adding the power to my leader ability. It was just a simple oversight. But I don't get to swing with leader this time because he got Capone Beige out of life and does stop that swing. Being at 7 Dawn, I can't remember if it was Linlin that he found, but it doesn't look like it is because he's just gonna swing 7, and I think this is going into heat right here. So 7K does use leader effect, draws a card, or draws the bottom card, places one up top. I am gonna let heat go. I think we had 4 cards, but just no 2K counters, if I remember correctly. 5 at life with him having 5 Dawn left. We do choose to take this. And now, yeah, 5 Dawn's a kind of like an awkward spot for yellow. I'm not entirely sure what to be expecting. It's like I could see another Paro Sparrow here and leave 2 active. We could see like a Brûlé. Yep, there's Brûlé. And then he's just going to pass with 2 active here. And 2 active, I feel like, is going to be a really nice bluff in OPO5. But right now, just practically no one's running that Ikaku Sovereignty. But I think that there's, if I remember correctly, or maybe no, it actually might just be a main effect card that I'm thinking of. But I will go 5 into the life. He does counter out with Randolph. And might potentially go, yep, gonna go 6 to life. See what happens. You know, does he have the counter power or not? Yes, a Monday in hand stops the attack in its tracks. I'm gonna play King though. I'm gonna play King for 6. Do the Dawn -1, KOing the Brûlé. We're gonna be aggressive here. And I'm gonna go 7 to life. I'm gonna ignore the Paro Sparrow. He does get a Sanji, and trashes one of the 8-cost Katakuris. I like being aggressive here because we're up in life. If he does 10-cost Mom, I'm not hating it. It's still pretty good, but I'm not hating it. But Yamato, super solid here. Does get the heal, gets the KO on Law as well because we both had a combination of 4 in total for our life. And then he is going to swing 5 to life. I will take that one. And then another 5 I'll just counter out with the Mino Koala. Now it's getting to a point, though, that I wasn't actually expecting the Yamato. I forgot that he was at 9 Dawn. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Yamato. That card is super solid in this spot right now. I think we're at 8 Dawn and not 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, could potentially... yeah, I believe we're at 8, yeah. So, can't do any Kaido shenanigans, because I think Kaido would have went extra hard here. But 6 at life with him having 2 cards in hand, he is going to take. Does get a Soul Pocus. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I don't know if I can trash a life in this situation. I think I just have to give him one. I was like, I can block her up, but, you know, what are the odds that potentially he has, like, Thunderbolt in hand, and then Thunderbolt's my one blocker that I put down, and then just goes for game? I was like, oh, you could just have it. Whatever. But we're definitely going to play down Queen and Dawn -1. See if we can find some useful cards. Find a Hanya Ball and a 2K counter Shiki. I'd love to see it. I spruced up the hand a little bit. I will go 6 to life here. Or actually, I think I might be going 6 to Paro. I'm considering whether I want to go Paro or whether I go life, and yeah, I am just deciding to go life. I think we're just going to play Hanya Ball after this, though, and hope that we can find a 2K counter or a Hell's Judgment, because Hell's Judgment would go extra hard. But yeah, Hanya Ball for 1, and it looks as though we do find 2 of the Hell's Judgments, both of them that I run right beside one another. Nice little call. That's why I was looking through my trash. I was like, all right, let me see. Have we seen this card at all? Like, I haven't seen any searchers to go through. I was like, odds are, you know, not terrible if I try and look for it. And now we're going to have that 9K coming down, but is it going to be going into Queen? Is it going to be going into King? He is going to poke 5K first. If I do rest the Queen, it's not the end of the world, but it is leaving my king susceptible, but I don't think that that's really relevant considering we just have Hell's Judgment to get rid of a lot of this stuff. 9 cost Linlin here, or excuse me, 10 cost Linlin into thinking about what he wants to do with 9 cost Yamato. Yamato's gonna swing into king. I feel like with me having 2 active, that's not helping him too much here. And we just Hell's Judgment this, but it feels like Hell's Judgment obviously isn't getting the most value since I couldn't also put it onto his leader or Yamato, or his leader or like Sparrow. But, you know, we get out of the 1 swing and keep king active. We have a ton on board to be able to potentially go for game. We also have blockers to get out of it. I know that I'm not going to be able to find another Hell's Judgment, though, because we bottom decked the other. But without a blocker, I'm just going to swing 7. And we do get a 2k and a 1k there, trashing the Sanji. Now he has 1 card in hand. I'm just going to swing 6. We end up getting a Sparrow, which was that 7 cost Linlin in hand being trashed. I'll just go 5 with Hannibal and the rest on lead. We take the game there, not too bad. It was a good match, and I think both of them, it felt like the second match was a lot better, simply because we were able to see a lot of the useful cards on curve, whereas that first match not having Magellan, and kind of misplaying that 1 turn with what I should have been swinging with first, definitely didn't help my case. But, you know, lessons learned. And I am just going to continue having fun with this Magellan list. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the matches. And if you have made it to the end of this video, I want you to know we have OPO5 proxy testing videos coming up very soon. Probably tomorrow, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm really excited. I just want to get a couple of matches in with some friends using different lists and all that. And we're going to try out a bunch of stuff. So if you guys want to see any deck matchups and stuff like that, leave them down in the comments. I know for sure that we'll be doing a little bit of stuff with Purple Luffy, with Sakazuki, with potentially Bello Betty and Enel, but also some Katakuri thrown in there. And yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, though, let me know. We might try and get it going, okay? Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.